Hey, it's Mack with PriceActionTradingSystem.com. It's Monday, it's November the 23rd. We are heading into the Thanksgiving holiday week here in the US. So it's going to be a little slow, most likely. We still had some pretty good movement here. The Feds came out with some of their minutes from a meeting today, and that's a high volatility. It's not your normal FOMC day, but it's very similar, and it's a high volatility type news item. So you probably want to be flat during that. And you can see it did affect the market, and we sold off pretty strongly there. They're talking about raising rates here in the U.S. So, um, we'll just have to see how that affects the market going forward. But I think they're not talking about doing that till after the first of the year. So, but anyway, since it is the holiday week, I know I'm going to trade tomorrow as well. Wednesday, I'm probably going to take off Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Generally, when you get into these holiday weeks, there's not much happening. The market will trade normal hours Wednesday. If I looked at the CME information correctly, I believe it closes at noon on Thursday, actual Thanksgiving Day, and then it closes again at 12 or 12:15 on Friday. And generally, those 2 or 3 hours of regular trading are not worth fooling with. If you want to sim trade them, you're probably okay, but you'll probably see a lot of this, maybe more like this, I don't know. But generally, you do not get a lot of movement. Most all your professional traders are on vacation, and it's just kind of slow and boring, and you get stuck in trades. And so I usually take those days off. I'm not sure about Wednesday yet. At this point, I'm going to say that I'm only going to, there will only be a chart lesson today and tomorrow. Uh, but if I decide to trade Wednesday and hang around, I'll probably do a chart lesson Wednesday. So, but if there's not one Wednesday, you'll know why, and there definitely won't be one Thursday or Friday. I'm going to take those days off for sure and spend those with my family and enjoy the Thanksgiving holiday here. So I hope you do as well. And if you do trade, like I said, if you want to get the screen time and sim trade, nothing wrong with that. But I'd be very leery about trading live on those days. Um, you don't want to get stuck in a trade and then it close on you and you got to exit with a loss or who knows what. So I'd be very leery of them. But not a lot of trades today. There was a couple of, if you caught a couple of these, they're pretty good trades. But other than that, just not much happening today. Um, the news drove it down a little bit. Other than that, it looked like we were going to have a range. We got stuck in this real tight range right before the news came out. Um, but anyway, let's back out just a little bit, talk about the trades, and we'll wrap this up. There's not much to talk about today. Early on, I was looking for another leg down. Noticed that we got one leg here, and so you're thinking we'll probably get another leg down, but we could not breach this support area. Notice we had that there last Friday. We had some support there across that area, and that held. We went a little bit lower here in the overnight, but once we got into the regular market, that tended to be the support area until we got the news that pushed it on through, and this was some fairly bearish news here. So, um, anyway, let's talk about these trades. I was looking for this measured move down, but we had a break here, and so you're looking for a retest of this low. And notice you got your first entry. You actually got your pullback in your first entry right there. Let me back out so you can see. It's a little bit hard to see. But anyway, you got your new low, you pull back, you got your first entry, pull back your second entry. Um, Actually, I should have marked that second entry there. You got your second entry short right there, one tick below that. It didn't close well on its low, but that's bearish enough that when you're looking for a low after a big move down like that, and that's the first break of it, um, you probably want to take that trade. Now, when it bounced here, or tried to go higher again here, this is a failed second entry long. I would re-enter here again, even though you probably got stopped out of your runners. Because that's a trap, you probably want to re-enter there. At that point, you would not have had this as your low. Your lows would have been more down in here at that point, or maybe even all the way down here, but you got a few touches right there. So I would have felt pretty good about entering right there. And then notice this is one of these where I like to add on. It turns back up here and looks like it's going to trap everybody and then turns back down. And that's your first break of this trend line working down. That's the type I like to add on. And you got the same entry as you did over here, really. And you got just enough to scalp out, and then this thing bounces. Um, but when it didn't go any lower right here, um, you had to be kind of leery. I wouldn't want to add any more onto here. And when it turns down right here and goes one tick, notice that one tick lower right there than here, and then it starts climbing. And it turns and goes up here. Um, that's a double test of that area, and it's a little bit aggressive, but I like going long there just because they're probably going to trap people when it went lower right there, and there's probably a lot of people that have gotten short right through here that they're going to have to exit. Again, it's a little bit aggressive, um, but if you want to try to, if you're trading aggressive, there's some reasons to want to go long there, and turns out to be a pretty good trade. But really, really the reason I like this one, let me explain this one just a little bit more because I kind of rushed through that one. You got this low here, and this is a double test of that, and you got that little trap there, and then it turns up. So that's why I like that one. It is aggressive, and then you come up and you've got a double top here already, and so this is a double test of this high right here. So it's a double top, and that's a big bearish bar. You probably want to let that break lower and drop a limit order in here. You could only probably get filled a tick in. You might have got filled 2 ticks in if you were real quick. And if you really want to be aggressive, you could probably even use a stop there. But I would try to get, I'd try to play this one a little bit with a limit order and see if I could get a better entry. And again, it is aggressive. But you've got a triple top across here, and things have been moving up and down, and so there's a chance that we're probably headed back down. And we never made the low here on this retest, so their prices are going to test that one more time. Basically, is what happens. And notice you got the little trend line working down. You get a break, move to a new low. You can't go short there right into that, so you just sit tight, and you get a double test of this. So now you got a triple bottom. You want to go long right there. I like that one, even though that's not a really strong signal bar. This is looking very rangy. Look how flat that is across there. We've tested this support multiple times. Go long there and look for it to come back to here. This time it goes all the way back and tests the other high. And we get a break, push up that fails, and you get a big bearish bar here. That looks like a doji, but notice this closed way down here, almost just barely a tick off the low. Go short right there. I like that one. You don't want to add on here, and I wouldn't enter here after all those bars stacked up. And this was the resistance before, and now look how it's acting as support. But you don't have much room to scalp out, and this took you right into the FOMC, the Fed news, and so you just want to sit tight on that. I didn't even like entering here because it's settled down a little bit after the news. There's some reasons to consider here. I probably should make that one green if you want to be aggressive, and there's not enough room to scalp out before you get to here. So what I would do is let it break lower and back up, and see, you could have gotten filled all the way back to about halfway into that bar, and then that gives you room to get out. So if you did it that way, I'm okay with that one, but the better entry was right here. Notice what happens. You get this breakout pull back short, and this acts as resistance again and gives you a nice pull back to the EMA, pull back to test this, a nice bearish bar. Just go short there. And then you get a failed second entry long here and another big bearish bar. Really your entry is one tick below this one, but you could wait on this one. You probably should wait on this one, let it break lower, and then drop a limit order here, and notice it would have pulled back and filled you and then taken off. But if you wanted, you could probably just use a stop right there because this thing is probably going to head lower. And notice the reason I started my trend line here is because the downtrend, really, this was a trading range. This was like looking like a failed break lower, and so the downtrend didn't really start till these two swings here. So that's why that trend line starts there. You get your break here. I don't think you want to enter down here right into this overnight support. Um, but when it fails here and you get the break again, and it comes back, notice that little double top there and that bearish bar. For that reason, I like trying to give it one more shot here. It's a little bit close to this low. It's borderline being green, but there was enough reasons. This was the first break. You're going to make a new low, and it's a breakout pullback short to this area well, right across here. You can't really see that. Right along where that red line is, it's actually a tick or so higher right across there from here to here. And you tested that twice. That's a double test of that area, and that was enough to like that for me. It's real borderline being green. And then notice how far away from you are here from the EMA. And this was like a little, it was time for it to snap back. You get your break, a new low. There's a first entry, and then there's a lower high here. So I like entering right there above that bar on an aggressive trade to come back to the EMA. And it actually pulls right on through, and you kind of get a reversal pattern. But that gets you into the 2 o'clock hour, and it's too late for anything else. So honestly, to catch this move here, you've got to understand what's going on here and catch these trades. And this is a little trading range. So you can't enter long or short in here. You wait for this little failed break on the pullback to test the breakout area right there. And that gives you a nice bearish bar. You don't know if it's going to get back through there or not, but it does. Then it gives you the little breakout pullback for this area. And it gives you a failed second entry long. And that's why I really like that one. And you got to figure then we're coming to at least here. And maybe to test the overnight low. And that's right where we go before it gets a little bounce, but then it kind of pushes on through before it and makes a new low. So back out just a little bit and show you that again. So there's not a lot of trades today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Really only 8 standard trades, and there were 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 aggressive trades. And there's some other trades in there. If you really want to be aggressive, you could probably make the argument. Maybe a long right here using a limit order, trying to get a little further back. Just go ahead and mark it so people can see it. But that's right after the news. But it's obvious the news didn't really affect the market. Real volatile until it started selling off here. And everybody jumped in. And so that I probably wouldn't mark any of these others. There, like I said, there's some reasons to think about a few of these other trades, but I just would stay away from them. So, but that's pretty much it for today. It's probably going to be similar tomorrow. Sometimes you just never know. Sometimes on these holiday weeks you'll get a wild day that surprises everybody, but generally the volume is low. There's not many people trading. You can see there's not near as many bars today. If it wasn't for this sell-off here from the FOMC news or the Fed news, it probably wouldn't have been much happening at all. So, and it could be that way tomorrow. We'll just have to see. So, I'm not sure if there's any big news tomorrow. Let me just take a peek here. Tomorrow will be Tuesday. There's quite a bit of news early in the morning. Personal consumption, gross domestic product, like early, like 7:30, and then at 9 we've got consumer confidence. Those can sometimes move the market, so you never know. We might get some movement tomorrow. But I want to pretty much wrap it up for today. Again, there will be a chart lesson tomorrow. Wednesday's really up in the air, most likely not. So you just have to kind of check in later in the evening and see if I ended up doing one Wednesday or not. And definitely will be taking off Thursday and Friday, but I'll probably leave. I'll probably come in Wednesday morning just to see what the market's doing and probably leave early as well. So we'll just have to see. But anyway, I'm going to wrap it up for today. Hope you had a good trading day. We'll look forward to getting another little vacation. It's kind of a second week vacation for me. But generally, when you get this time of year, it's not a bad idea to take some time off because the market's going to slow down. It's going to slow down in December as well. Um, I'll generally take the whole last couple of weeks off in December. I may do a chart lesson or two because I'll get bored. Uh, but anyway, we'll wrap it up for today. We'll be back again to do it tomorrow, and maybe Wednesday, and then definitely no chart lesson Thursday and Friday. So this is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.